Everybody, Andy here with the brand new PMW 350. This is the latest in the line of Sony EX cameras. I did a two-part series on the camera body before, but at the time I didn't have the lens, so I thought I would break out this lens now and tell you what I thought about it. This is a Fujinon 16x8 lens. It's an XA series lens, and it's a standard B4 mount design. You can see the plug and the standard B4 mount. But unlike other B4 mount lenses, it will only work on this camera because there is no back focus control on the lens itself. No adjustments here as you expect to see normally. Instead, that's done in the camera, which means it only works on this camera, and you just put on another camera, it's just out of focus, back focus is off. I tested it, doesn't work. So what is about this lens though? Why would you want this? Well, it's under $2,000, it's a great price, and it does very well overall. So before we go into the testing, see here just a standard zoom rocker, auto iris controls, push auto iris, return switch, VTR switch, and on the bottom I have an 8-pin Fujinon zoom plug here. This is a Fujinon zoom demand feature. I can use a zoom demand or another type of zoom controller. I also have a servo switch for on and off, and so on. The lens itself, if you look at it, you go, this is a very normal lens, iris control, zoom control, and focus control all geared. So you can use controllers externally. In addition to the manual focus control, I do have the ability, like other EX lenses, to push forward this and get a manual / auto focus mode. When this mode, I can actually turn on an autofocus switch right here. This is an autofocus on or off switch, as well as I can use the macro mode in that mode and a push autofocus button back here to get temporary autofocus. Now, in the 2/3 inch world, you don't have a lot of autofocus lenses. In fact, very, very few exist overall. This lens has the ability to do so by using the camera to determine focus and adjust the focus on the lens itself. So it's a really unique thing, and I actually like that a lot in an included lens of the camera. So very cool to be there as well. And when I was testing the lens, I was very impressed by a couple things. The first thing we did was we projected the lens. We had to turn the power on the lens to project it, but we found that from the longest end of the lens, it's 128 millimeters on the long end, to the widest end, it did very well. In fact, it did a lot better than other lenses in this sort of price range. Again, this is even cheaper than all those lenses, but overall, in that range, the lower end of the 2/3 inch world, it did much better than most of them, covering some of the edges of the frame very well, held them in focus. I was very impressed in that regard. Additionally, I did some testing where we went out and we pulled focus to see the breathing. So you see some footage here of me adjusting the focus of the lens from long to wide, and you can see that it doesn't breathe at all, really. It's very minimal breathing. It's very impressive. Most lenses, again, in the sort of lower end of the 2/3 inch world, will have a lot of breathing issues. So it's a very nice thing to see. And additionally, I tested for chromatic aberration on this chart here, and I found, again, very minimal chromatic aberration. So that's very impressive to see as well. What I did find is that the zoom control of the camera, the rocker, is not the smoothest motion in it. Like the other EX lenses, it does tend to stutter on the low end of the zoom with the rocker. So I had to use the zoom demand plug, a Fujinon zoom controller, in order to get a very smooth push in and pull out. So that did work, but again, the rocker wasn't the smoothest pull. Overall, though, I've been very impressed with the lens. If you want to come in and see it, please do. We'll have it in New York and LA in our showrooms. But thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.